Hey guys, this is Miss Net 100. Welcome back. Okay, so I wanted to talk a little bit about slippage. I've talked about slippage in the past, but I never really went into detail about what it is, how to get it, how to combat it. So I really wanted to make this video because I think it might help a lot of people. So I'm doing it for two types of people. The first type of people I'm doing it for is for those who've never had Sisterlocks, who are considering them and kind of want to know the goods, the bads, and what things to consider if getting Sisterlocks. And then two, those folks who have just gotten their Sisterlocks, and will maybe incur these types of issues. And I'm basically trying to help you guys save money and time, and we'll talk a little bit about that. So let's get into it. So the first thing is, and I'll be referring to my phone because I made notes. I wanted to make sure I said a lot and good stuff to you guys. So don't mind me kind of doing both. So what is slippage? So slippage is primarily when your Sisterlock consultant puts the locks in your hair. So there's a pattern for everybody's head. She puts them in and then she sends you on your merry way and she says, come back in 6 weeks, come back in 5 weeks, or come back in a month to see how your hair is doing. Then when you come back, some of your locks have come out. Pretty much that's what slippage is. Sometimes slippage happens from the root of your scalp to parts of the lock. So not all of it comes all the way out. And then sometimes the entire lock pattern just comes out of the hair. Now, what causes slippage? A number of things can cause slippage. But I think the main things that cause slippage primarily is a lot of washing. We'll talk about that. A lot of styling. So we get excited and we're like, oh my God, these Sisterlocks are so cute. I just want to, style them, make them look cute. But that can be something that can cause slippage. So be mindful of that, and we'll talk a little bit more about that as well. Hair texture. So a lot of us don't have as coarse hair as some do. So the softer your hair, the finer your hair, the more slippage you may have. And that's primarily just because of your hair texture. The fourth thing I think primarily is too much manipulation. Just being in your hair and a lot of movement and just doing a lot to our hair that shouldn't be done in the first beginning stages of getting Sisterlocks. So why is slippage bad? Slippage is bad because it can cost you a lot of money and it takes too much time to fix. So there are things you can do to help combat that, because let's say you are going to your Sisterlock consultant and she's retightening your hair and it usually takes her about 2.5 hours or 3 hours. Slippage can make it go 4, 5, or 6 hours because she has to fix your hair and she has to put the pattern back into your locks. So let's talk about how to prevent slippage. Okay, so one thing that I would recommend, if you don't sweat in the head a lot, like if you don't work out a lot of washing can cause slippage. So I say, let's say, your retightenings are 6 weeks out. So instead of washing maybe every 2 weeks, maybe wash every 3 weeks. Just because the water hitting it, the manipulation of washing it may help you not have as much slippage. Now, if you gotta wash your hair, wash your hair. Just be mindful that if you can wait longer and your hair can withstand you waiting a little bit longer, that might be a good thing to do. 2, stay out of your hair. I'm guilty of it. I love styling my hair. I love doing different things to it. But I had to learn to sometimes to let my hair breathe and not manipulate it so much. So all of that, let's, play with it and, kind of twirl it and style it and curl it. We need to stop that, especially when you're in the beginning phases. If your hair has not settled yet, basically meaning it hasn't locked all the way yet, it can slip. So you want to not manipulate it as much by styling it, curling it, and playing it and actually being in your hair. 3, when showering, always wear a shower cap. I know sometimes we want to feel the water hit our scalp and it feels great. It's awesome, but please don't do that. Especially when you're showering, wear a shower cap. And swimming, we didn't even want to talk about swimming because I did a video on that. Y'all can watch that, but no swimming. And if you're going to swim, watch my video so you can get some tips on what to do when you're swimming. Also, I cannot stress the importance of banding and or braiding when washing your hair. That is what causes slippage, not banding and not braiding properly, or banding and braiding and leaving your ends loose. So your ends being loose and water hitting them can potentially cause slippage. 4, slippage typically happened for me primarily in the front of my head and in the back of my head. I don't know if it's because when I first got my Sisterlocks, those were the shortest parts in my head, like very short. Now those slipped just because my hair is soft and I was washing a lot. So those little ones, and if you're starting off with shorter locks, you might have more slippage than most people do, but doing these tips may help you. So if that is something that you have a problem with, what I learned is when I went to sleep at night, instead of just putting a silk just a wrap on, not a wrap, but a silk bonnet, I actually had to tie my hair down with something. So with a silk actual scarf, or just something that will actually keep your hair in place. Because most of the time when the hair bonnets are in your hair, they don't stay. You wake up, half of them are on this side. Sometimes the bonnets are even gone. So it's probably best if you actually tie your hair down. If you can tie it down and wear the bonnet on top of it, that would be great as well. But the less movement while you're sleeping, the better. And I think the last thing that I wanted to say is, when washing, we have a habit of and I know I'm guilty of this. When we have a habit of like, oh my God, I got to get into my scalp. I got to scrub really, really hard because I got to get, all the gunk out, especially when you have Sisterlocks, because you want to get into the crooks and crannies of the scalp and you want to get into it. We have to be more careful. So instead of scrubbing it like, we just want to get all that gunk out, you want to massage your hair. You want to get into the locks, but you want to massage. And if you have to maybe wash 3 times, then wash 3 times. I typically do a pre-shampoo, a shampoo, and a cleanup after the shampoo. So I try to do it 3 times, and I try not to be so rough on my scalp, especially now that my hair is not settled yet. So I hope those tips have helped you. I hope they make you realize, oh yeah, I don't do that, and I do have slippage, and hopefully that can help you save some money, because like I said, slippage costs money and it costs time. If you are a Sisterlock wearer and you have some tips, or you have some other things that I have not spoken about, please put them in the comments below. We're here to help each other, kind of uplift each other, and kind of, save some folks some money. So if you have any tips or comments, please feel free to share them. And I guess if this video was helpful to you, please thumbs up. Let me know it helped somebody. And then I guess I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye.